How did you feel when Upar happened?
It was disastrous. I mean, obviously, personally, I thought, am I doing the right thing? Am I ready to take this responsibility? I was pretty young, 97, I was, whatever, 30 years old at that time when this had happened. So it was a big thing that I hope I'm not trying to expand a business which is not that safe, and am I ready to take that responsibility? So all these questions do come to you.
Did you think then that it would be another collapse?
There were a lot of skeptics actually when we opened that, because that was really the peak of decline, so to speak, of the industry, and there were a lot of cinemas that were shutting down anyway because they were unviable. And on top of that, this incident happened. So cinema going completely became like something people just didn't want to do, you know. So there were a lot of skeptics. A lot of people, I remember, a lot of our friends told us that we're just doing this to satisfy our personal interest because we're movie buffs and they don't see a business here. And also the authorities were a little shocked because there were the authorities getting proposals from cinema owners to shut them down. And here was a company that was going and saying, listen, we don't want to just don't want to shut it down, but we want to make 4 out of them. So they thought that was a bit crazy. So there were a lot of skeptics, and but I just think it's something that, you know, worked because we really had a strong belief in it.
PVR Sarcade.
Yeah.
Did it catch on instantly with cinema goers?
Yeah, it was quite amazing. You know, with the grace of God, the moment we opened doors, straight away we had a tremendous response. But it was, I mean, I was very nervous because, you know, smaller cinemas were being introduced for the first time. So people were used to, like, you know, 1,000-seater, 2-tier cinemas, big screen. And here we had 150-seater cinemas, smaller screens. And so I really didn't know how people would respond. The only thing I was relying on was the appetite for Indian moviegoers to watch movies, lots and lots of movies, and we had a huge Indian film industry to bank on.
The abolition of the license quota permit Raj in the mid-90s created an atmosphere in which it was possible for Ajay Bijli to think of modernizing the cinema he'd inherited, but the liberalization of the economy that followed somehow was not yet liberated the cinema industry as much as it wants. Are there still problems from government in terms of policy?
Yeah, taxes is a big issue, entertainment tax, because entertainment tax is a state subject. So Delhi's got its own set of entertainment tax, which is about 30% now. Bombay has 30%, but there's a tax break that you were getting earlier. When you invested in a multiplex, some places got 100% still, 60%, 50%. So the biggest killer currently, or impediment to growth, really is the entertainment tax. From the government, which still continues.
But haven't they reduced it considerably since this quota Raj, license quota Raj ended, or not?
Actually, this area has not still been given priority the way it should have been. But now people like Yash Chopra, film industry people, they also realize, because every ticket that is sold, they also have a share of the box office. And entertainment tax again reduces that share. So they're also talking that we should get into the worldwide
Who gets the bulk
standard.
of the share then? The guy who owns the cinema, the movie maker, or the government?
Today, government gets about 30%, one can say, and then it is divided. The net box office, which is after the tax is given, is divided between the exhibitor and the distributor in about 60-40, 50-50 ratio, depending upon how big the movie is. So that's what it is. So I think bulk still, you can say, the exhibitor would get about 60%.
Are there any other problems? Is there a problem building cinemas? Is there a problem acquiring properties?
Yeah, there is. I mean, now with the retail boom happening, I mean, it's a mixed, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, you're getting these malls, so therefore space is not a constraint. You can build a multiplex everywhere now. But with the real estate prices going up, the rentals have increased dramatically. That's one. Secondly, of course, external factors, like lots of other avenues to watch movies again. So again, there's a huge revival of home theaters, DVDs, satellite, HBO, hundreds and hundreds of channels, and also internet, so, you know, piracy. So now again, movie watching is becoming like music on the go. It's becoming movies on the go. So the youngsters, you know, the basically bulk of the population is still teenagers who go and watch movies. So they have a lot of options now. So they'll say, listen, if it's a Shah Rukh movie or if it's a Tom Cruise movie, okay, fine, I'll wait. And I'll wait for it to come on the big screen. But if it's another movie for which I don't have to really shell out 150 rupees into into popcorn, into car parking, into whatever, which makes it a bill of, say, 1,000 rupees, I'd rather watch it when it comes on, you know, DVD or when it comes on TV.
One of the little-known facts about the cinema industry is that despite Indians being movie mad, to say the very least, there are no more than 15,000 cinemas in the whole of India, of which no more than 500 are multiplexes. A surprisingly small number for 1 billion people, but this seems about to change on account of the cinema industry being on the verge of a boom.
We're relying on that propensity of people to always go out and entertain themselves. So it's like, you know, kitchens are at home, so people can cook at home, but they still go to restaurants to eat. So similarly, I think we're riding this whole retail boom, I would say, and the appetite, as I said, for of the social side of man to go out and entertain. So when you go out, either you'll go shop, which you can't do on a daily basis, or you'll eat out, or you entertain yourselves. So in India particularly, entertainment is pretty much by and large movie watching.
We're hoping to continue with the all India expansion. There's a lot of areas to be covered. I mean, I think one thing that supports us very strongly is the fact that Indian consumers just love films. You know, I mean, we're a movie crazy and a cricket crazy nation, but movie crazy definitely. So we want to obviously cover the entire country, take our screen count up to 300, 350, whatever that might be.
By when?
Another maybe 3 years, maximum 3 years time. And then also solidify our distribution division and definitely get into film production very soon. We want to start also producing content.
And why do you feel the need to go into production?
One, because I think then we'll be a part of the entire supply chain. We'll be doing exhibition, distribution and production. I think it's important to sort of be in the entire supply chain. Secondly, it's a passion also, because, you know, we've been in this business for so long. We watch movies, we're critical about them, or we appreciate them. So I think somewhere down the line, we've kind of has had this urge to make something which we also believe in now, and we've been reading a lot of scripts, because every time we buy films from these markets, we read the scripts before we buy them. So there's been that learning that's happened over the past few years.
The magic of the movies is back. Audiences are back in cinema halls, and the license quota permit raj that was such a thorn in the side of all enterprise is now almost at an end, or at least we hope so. But are there still restrictions on the part of government? Are there still taxes that need to be removed? What does the future hold for the Indian cinema industry, and where does PVR go from here? How do you see then your own strategy to try and, rebuild this magic of the cinema?
Currently, keep on improving. So quality and quantity. One is keep on improving the quality of the whole experience to make sure that, leg room seat width, the whole sound, everything, where we build these cinemas becomes better and better, and how we build these cinemas become better and better, so it becomes an entertainment space. The other is quantity, to make sure that we reach out as a company who's got some expertise in this field to reach out to various parts of the country and introduce an enhanced movie-going experience.
When did you first start developing a passion for cinema?
From the beginning, I think, from a movie watching point of view, I think it was from the beginning. I remember still going to a lot of the cinemas in CP, in Odeon. I think in those days everyone used to get really dressed up and go to watch films and all. So I do remember those faintly. I remember watching Sholay when I was a small kid with the entire family. There were like 100 of us. I remember that specific moment. I thought it was really charming that people were getting ready and going to watch a movie. So it was almost an event.
The business ਨੂੰ ਸਫਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਾਏ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ?
ਸੱਚਾਈ ਸੱਚਾਈ ਧੋਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ